On Showbiz Tonight, a Hollywood legend is calling it quits. After a career that spanned for over 60 years, Robert Redford says he's done. Why Crazy Rich Asians could be a watershed moment for Asian representation in Hollywood. All eyes on this week's release of this Asian-centered movie. How good is Mission Impossible Fallout? Can it retain the #1 position in its second week, or has it lost the top spot to Disney's Christopher Robin? Find out all that and much more on Showbiz Tonight.
And the blood will be on your hands.
Good evening, everyone. How has your weekend been so far? Hope it was good. Welcome to Showbiz Tonight. This is a place where everything showbiz is possible. I'm Mahieash Johnney, and in the next 30 minutes, let's lose you in Hollywood, counting down to the #1 box office movie of the week. Remember, we're considering weekend box office sales of these movies instead of the weekday sales in determining the top 10. This is mainly because the day count changes every single minute, so it's impossible to take a good read on those data. Now, before we check out the #10 movie of this week, just to let you know that Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom, The First Purge and The Skyscraper, they are all out of this week's top 10. We have 3 new entrants, so let's go to the #10th movie of this week. Well, at #10 this week is last week's 5th entrant, Teen Titans Go to the Movies. This animated movie has managed to gain $20 million since its release 2 weeks ago. At the outset, I confess that I do not really know much about these Teen Titans Go animated series. The members of this newest incarnation since 2013 include Robin, Raven, Beast Boy, Starfire and Cyborg. Of these 5, I only know Robin since he was part of the original Teen Titans I knew as a child in comic books, along with Kid Flash, Aqualad and Wonder Girl. This new version is more hyper to cater to the new generation of hyperactive kids, I guess. While Teen Titans Go to the Movies, dropping down 5 places, is our 10th movie of this week. Alright, at #9 this week, well, despite its lowest placement in our top 10, this movie has done what it was supposed to do so far: collect a massive paycheck. Incredibles 2 has so far collected over $1.5 billion US, yes, with a B, from world sales since its release 8 weeks ago. This movie is indeed a favorite among children and, of course, adults. Some of the critics are calling this movie a simply incredible sequel, and they're right, you know. After dropping down 2 places, here is a look at Incredibles 2, our #9th movie of the week.
I can't steer it or stop it, and the Underminers escaped.
We'll have to stop it for Bob, the monorail. We have to stop this thing before it gets to the overpass.
I'm trying to keep it away from the building.
Thank you so much, young man. What? Violet?
Well, it's a new entrant to the countdown, placing it straight at #8 this week, and it's a sci-fi superhuman movie. After a couple of intriguing trailers, audiences may have been excited to see Fox's dystopian sci-fi thriller, The Darkest Minds, based on the young adult novel by Alexandra Bracken. Directed by Jennifer Yu Nelson, the film follows Ruby, played by Amandla Stenberg, a superpowered teenager on the run from a government that placed her and other mysteriously superhuman kids like her in an internment camp. It's an interesting concept on paper, to be sure, even if it's undeniably familiar. Now, when the film arrived in theaters worldwide, and critics, to put it lightly, did not enjoy it. The Darkest Mind debuted on Rotten Tomatoes, the critic side, with an abysmal score of 15%. That's since ticked up to 21%. For those who had high hopes for this film, that's definitely not a pretty sight. However, what do those critics know about movies, right? This could be something that you might enjoy. Box office-wise, in its first weekend of release, the movie has managed to gain $9.8 million and it's our number 8 movie of the week here on Showbiz Tonight.
Can you drive?
No.
Yeah, well, you're gonna have to. Chubbs can't see more than 10 feet in front of his face.
I heard that.
Dude, come on, it's just like a bike.
Tell me you've ridden a bike.
Of course I've ridden a bike.
Yeah, I got you.
What's he doing?
Well, before we continue with the countdown, let's get you up to date with the latest from Hollywood.
Hollywood veteran Robert Redford has said his next film will be the last movie in which he will act. Redford is known for roles in The Sting and Butch Cassidy and The Sundance Kid, and won an Oscar as a director in 1981. He will star in The Old Man and the Gun, the true story of a criminal who escaped from jail in a kayak at the age of 59 before committing more heists. The 81-year-old said, quote, "Never say never, but I pretty well conclude that this would be it for me in terms of acting," unquote. An update on Demi Lovato. She has entered rehab. The Grammy-nominated singer was released from Cedars-Sinai Medical Center in Los Angeles and has entered an undisclosed rehab facility. One of her close friends told reporters that Demi is committed to focusing on her health. Angelina Jolie is continuing her campaign to smear Brad Pitt by alleging he stiffed her on child support. So claim sources who say Brad has coughed up millions of dollars for the kids since the couple split. Sources familiar with the situation told reporters he and Angelina did have an informal agreement, as she claimed in the docs she filmed last week, but he has given way more than the amount he agreed to pay. We are told that the total is in the millions of dollars.
Let's get back to the movies and to our countdown. Another superhero movie from Marvel's Cinematic Universe is slowly losing its grip, I would say. It's Ant-Man and the Wasp at number 7 this week. Set before the events of Infinity War, we find that Scott Lang, played by Paul Rudd, is under house arrest following the events in Civil War, and that he is no longer in contact with Hank and Hope. Don't get me wrong, first and foremost, Ant-Man and the Wasp is a fun film. The action sequence are well choreographed, and the comedy that comes from the shrinking and enlarging tech still hits the mark. But like I told you last week, this isn't a story about Ant-Man. It's about Hank and Hope searching for their wife/mother. Dropping down a place from last week, here is a look at this week's number 7th movie, Ant-Man and the Wasp.
How did he even have time to buy a ticket? Just one time, please work! Yes! Oh, all right, I need help. Yes? Oh, sorry. Somebody... Hey! Come on, man! Not cool! Murderers! Yes! Yes! I'm gonna call you Antonio Banderas! You're a badass! Yes! No, Antonio!
Well, before we continue with the countdown, I want to bring a movie that you have to be in the lookout for. Crazy Rich Asians. Now, I'm not talking about my family, I'm talking about this new movie that will be in theaters this Wednesday. The movie is based on Kevin Kwan's novel, may not have the budget of Black Panther or Mission Impossible, but it too hopes to redefine what Hollywood greenlights. The whole movie is based right closer to us in Singapore, relatively close. In the early scenes of Crazy Rich Asians, a Singaporean matriarch buys a London hotel after her family is snubbed at checking. Sounds familiar? The snubbing part, not buying a hotel. Well, this version of Kevin Kwan's best-selling novel continues. The characters fly first class, rent private islands for a bachelorette party, and partake in a wild shopping spree. I will tell you more about the movie next week once it has been released and how it did at the box office. But for now, here's a sneak peek at our new release of this week, Crazy Rich Asians.
The Nick you're dating is Nick Young.
Yeah, you guys know them or something?
Hells yeah.
The Youngs are like royalty. Did you not know? Does she not know?
Let's You ready for this? Yeah.
Have you prepped Rachel to face the walls?
I met a girl, I fell in love, and I want to marry her.
It's not that simple.
I know you're not what Nick needs.
Rachel! Rachel!
Because I'm not rich?
Right at number 6, a feel-good movie. Adam Sandler's take on Dracula is doing quite okay at the box office so far. Hotel Transylvania 3, the summer vacation, has managed to rake in $337 million in world sales since its release 9 weeks ago. The movie has its moments. The franchise still bubbles with enough color and silliness to stay afloat for this seaside outing. Worried that her dad is under too much stress running the hotel, Mahieash, voiced by Selena Gomez, decides to book Dracula, voiced by Adam Sandler, and their entire family on a monster-friendly cruise around the Bermuda Triangle. Despite its charm, Hotel Transylvania 3, the summer vacation, drops 2 places in the countdown and checks in at number 6 this week on Showbiz Tonight.
We are arriving at our final destination. I give you the legendary lost city of Atlantis.
It's a giant kraken!
There's a place you gotta be, 1,000 leagues beneath the sea, and it's waiting over here for you and me. Gonna take you for a ride.
All right, let's take a short commercial break. More from Hollywood on the other side. Stay with us. Celebrating birthdays today, billionaire philanthropist George Soros turns 88. Suicide Squad actress Cara Delevingne is 26. An Academy Award winner and brother of Ben Affleck, Casey Affleck, is 43 today. Welcome back to Showbiz Tonight. The top 5 movies are coming up. At number 5 this week, it's Denzel Washington's The Equalizer 2. Now, this movie was only released about 3 weeks back, and the reviews are starting to come in. Many feel that it doesn't reinvent the action wheel, but The Equalizer 2 will appeal to anyone who enjoyed the first movie. Continuing shortly after where the first film ended, Washington is once again thrust into the world of underground criminal societies and special covert operations. Since its release, the movie has managed to get $87 million at the box office and making it a number 5 box office movie of the week after dropping from last week's top 3.
How you doing? I'm the Lyft driver that you called to take home your girlfriend.
Not a girlfriend, man.
Oh, credit card was invalid.
Come in. There you go. Pay yourself whatever and give yourself a nice tip.
Thank you. You're not going to ask me if she got home okay? This is the point where usually I'd give you a chance to do the right thing, but not tonight. Tonight I'm going to need your cameras, cell phones, anything you might have used to record what you did to her.
You knocked on the wrong door tonight, Pops.
Well, our 4th movie of this week also has dropped 2 places from last week in the countdown. It's none other than Mamma Mia 2, Here We Go Again. This movie is indeed doing well at the box office since its 3 weeks at the theatres, with the star power of returning actors like Amanda Seyfried, Pierce Brosnan, Colin Firth, Christine Baranski and Julie Walters. However, the singer-turned-actor Cher is the biggest time captivator of audience this time. Now, despite both movies are revolving around the life of Madonna, fans have indeed noticed the lack of screen time for Academy Award winner Meryl Streep in this sequel. Many were very upset about this fact. However, this was actually something intentional. Not that the writers and directors didn't want Meryl Streep to be not in the movie, but it's mainly because Meryl Streep herself didn't want to be part of it. Yeah, mind blown. Now, hear me out. Meryl Streep is a megastar in Hollywood who actually does not have to do sequels or prequels in order to be current or successful in the industry. Her 21 career Academy Award nomination speaks as to how talented this actress truly is. So she flat out rejected to be part of a sequel to Mamma Mia, mainly because she has said that she didn't want to be running on top of roofs and jumping to the sea like how she did in the first one, and also to the fact that she rarely does sequels. However, the producers of the movie was not buying it, and they've been trying to convince her for over 10 years, and when they realized that the only way it would happen is as Meryl Streep not being the main character, they well given up and went ahead with that idea. However, writer of the movie, Katherine Johnson, so badly wanted her at least to be part of it somehow, hence the little screen time she gets. Despite Meryl Streep not being in a major way, the movie has not stopped the fans going to the sequel. Dropping down 2 places from last week, here's a look at our 4th movie of this week, Mamma Mia 2, Here We Go Again.
We just met. Today.
Yes, but when you know, you know. When you fall, you fall. And when you're defeated by love, you're utterly defeated. My, at Waterloo, Napoleon did surrender. Oh yeah. And I have met my destiny in quite a similar way. The history book on the shelf is always repeating itself. Waterloo, I was defeated, you won the war. Waterloo, promise to love you forever.
Well, at Showbiz Tonight, we just don't want to focus only on the blockbusters, but want to give you some idea about what else is out there, especially independent movies that would intrigue your mind and sharp your thinking. So in this week's Independent Movie of the Week, I want to introduce you to this wonderfully crafted dark tale called First Reformed. Critics have rightly declared First Reformed to be one of the best American films this year. Featuring a stunning performance from Ethan Hawke, it lingers uneasily in the subconscious. Reverend Toller, played by Ethan Hawke, is the minister of a small church maintained more for his historical significance once a stop on the Underground Railroad. Now, it's about to celebrate its 250th anniversary than its thriving ministry. In an accurate but obvious metaphor, it's surrounded by a graveyard with crumbling, toppling headstones. Here's a look at this week's indie movie, First Reformed.
Explosives.
She was becoming someone I didn't know.
Opportunistic diseases, anarchy, martial law. You will live to see this.
You had no idea that he was thinking of...
No, I'm so frightened.
Well, a new entrant is taking the 3rd spot of the countdown this week. It's a new comedy, action comedy called The Spy Who Dumped Me. Female buddy films aren't common, so it's welcome to have a few trickled in. Following The Heat, and played by Melissa McCarthy like 5 years ago, is The Spy Who Dumped Me, an action comedy pairing Mila Kunis and Kate McKinnon. They're really good actors. The movie carries its stars across Europe in a showcase of McKinnon's weird and wonderful improv talent. But it's the stars who make the package. The equally improvised plot isn't so much fun. In the early reviews, many critics are hammering this movie, calling it a mishit, and that despite the star power of Mila Kunis and Kate McKinnon, the storyline falls flat on its face. Well, why don't you judge it for yourself? Here's a look at The Spy Who Dumped Me, our number 3 movie of the week.
Come on! Hello. Hi. Can we go, please?
Mr. Yang?
We are Yang. We're Mr. Yang, yes.
All right.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. We gotta go.
And we're on the guess.
So you guys visiting?
No, we live here. I'm an Austrian man named Mr. Yang. Go.
Would you like to listen to music?
No music. Just drive, please.
I'm not only a driver, actually. I'm also a DJ on Saturday nights. Look, hip-hop music. Jump, jump, jump.
Oh my God! Okay, listen, buddy. There's a bunch of men chasing us with guns, and I need you to lose them. Now.
I smoked so much meth before.
Great!
Well, who would take the top spot on this week's Showbiz Tonight? Will Mission Impossible be able to retain its top spot, or will a new entrant take it all out? Find out after this Hollywood news update.
The 6th season of House of Cards is coming and Robin Wright is in charge. Last week, the show's official Twitter account announced that the final season would arrive on Netflix on November 2nd. The tweet featured the hashtag #MyTurn, accompanied by an image of Wright sitting in what appears to be President Abraham Lincoln's chair at the Lincoln Memorial in Washington, D.C.
We're just getting started.
Well, another final season of a time favorite has been announced. Homeland, the Emmy-winning series starring Claire Danes, will end in 2019 with its 8th season. David Nevins, the president of the show's network and chief executive, made the announcement last week at the summer press tour of the Television Critics Association. Nevins made a point of saying this was not a cancellation.
Well, back to the movies now. At number 2, well, it's a new entrant, a computer-generated version of Winnie the Pooh that generated an estimated $35 million in ticket sales during the weekend. It takes a second spot at the top 10. It's Disney's Christopher Robin. The action starts with younger Christopher Robin, played by Orton O'Brien, whose adventure in the 100-acre wood are about to come to an end. He'll soon be leaving for boarding school, and he's enjoying a sentimental farewell lunch with Pooh, voiced by Jim Cummings, and the other fantastic animals. Now here's a look at Disney's Christopher Robin, our number 2 box office movie of the week.
I was pretending that there was a heffalump, but of course there wasn't really a heffalump.
Are you hearing yourself? You need to quit.
I think that decision's about to be made for me. Stick with me, Piglet. I'll fix it. You worry too much.
We'll never get to Christopher now.
Maybe we should ask if anyone's seen a bear or a tiger or a very small donkey.
Darling, these creatures aren't real.
Don't worry, there's a alternative plan.
Careful, we don't want to fly out.
We just need a leap of faith.
Listen, I will call Dr. Cunningham on Monday. I think with the right amount of rest and
Christopher! Tigger! Eeyore! Piglet!
Ah, my plan worked. I don't know how I do it.
You must be Christopher Robin's wife. Ha! How do you do?
My bum hurts.
Alright, since we revealed our number 2 movie, you would have guessed as to what's the number 1 box office movie of this week is. Yes, you're indeed right. Tom Cruise's Mission Impossible Fallout manages to clinch to the top spot for a second week in a row. This action sequel, dubbed the best work of Tom Cruise, is doing very well at the box office, and thus far, after 2 weeks, it has earned a well-deserved $329 million in world sales. So here's a look at our number 1 movie of the week, Mission Impossible Fallout.
We gotta talk. Need to rethink this. Out of my way, Hunt. Walker, we got a problem. There's a storm and we need to... Enough talk. I'll see you in Paris.
Altitude, 25,000 feet.
That's our show. Hope you enjoyed. I'll see you next Sunday at 9:30 p.m. on Showbiz Tonight. Until then, I'm Mahieash Johnney, and may the movies be with you. Good night.